Everybody, in this series of videos you're going to be learning about how you can go ahead and create the iMessage clone using React in Redux. I'm Akshit and this is my YouTube channel, and here I upload videos about programming, and I try to upload almost every single day. So I also try to explain it in a very simple manner, and if you're new to this channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. So now let's get started. So I'm just going to show my screen, and basically I've just gone ahead and opened up a window of Visual Studio Code, and this is the Insiders edition, but you can use the normal version if you want to. So here I've just gone ahead and opened up the iMessage clone project, and basically I've just opened up the terminal using Control-J. So I'll just open up the terminal on VS Code, and what we basically need to do is just go ahead and first we need to create a React app using the Redux template. So basically how we do that is we just use npx create-react-app, and then we go ahead and give it a name. So in this case, I'm just going to call this iMessage-clone, and for the actual Redux template, we will do --template Redux. And then for using npm, we just do use-npm, because by default, it for me at least, it uses the package manager YAR. So I don't really want that. I wanted to use npm, so I'll just do --use npm. So now just hit enter, and this should actually start creating our React app. And as you can see, it's actually creating our React app. And now this is just going to take a while to go ahead and create it. So I'm just going to skip to that part of the video. So here, as you can see, it just says cd iMessage clone and npm start, and then it just says happy hacking. And that basically means that our React app has been created. So what we need to do now is just go ahead and cd into the iMessage clone, and then just run npm start. And by the way, if that actual npx command, that means the create React app, that command does not work, then you just need something called Node.js. So here I'm just going to open up Chrome, and let's just close that down. And then you can just search for nodejs.org, and this is where you basically install Node.js from. So just search for that, and then just select the LTS or the latest version. So it's just your choice which one you want. I would actually recommend the LTS version, but it depends on you. So after that, it should actually be working. So you may need to actually go ahead and restart Visual Studio Code, but after that, it should work. Now let's just go ahead and open up the Explorer and see the actual file structure. So inside of source, we can see all of these files. And actually, we're just going to wait for this to start up, and then we're going to continue from there. So here, as you can see, it's just gone ahead and started the app on localhost 3000. I'm just going to move that right over there. And this is basically how it is. And this is actually because we actually use the Redux template for creating our app, or else normally what we would have is just like a spinning React logo if we did not create an actual React app using the Redux template, right? So it's basically a very simple app that's right over here. So we can just click on this plus button, and the number is going to increase. And here we can just say, for example, 2, add amount, there we go, add async. So it's just going to wait for some time and then add it. So it's basically very simple. But we're not going to be bothered by the actual template for right now. But instead, what I'm going to do is go over to public, and right now what we're going to do is just go ahead and change the icon and title of our React application. That's because, as you can see, it just says React Redux app, and that's not really what we want. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of these comments first, and then we can actually change the icon and title. So we will change the title first. So let's just get rid of all of that. And then here, instead of React Redux app, what we want is going to be iMessage clone, like so. And basically, we can just, you can give the description if you want to. So you can just do iMessage clone for, let's say, YouTube, like so, and save that. And as you can see, the title has changed to iMessage clone. That's looking Good. So that's exactly what we want. And oops, I did not mean to open that. So that's all good. And actually, let me just make that M capital. There we go. And now we're actually going to change the icon of the application, because right now it's the default icon. So for that, we'll just right click on public and just say reveal in Explorer. And that's just going to do that. And now I'm going to go over to my downloads, and I've just got this, the icon. Now I'll go back, and inside of public, and I'm just going to paste that in. Now I can close that up. And the icon has come in there, and right now we can just delete the favicon.ico, and here instead of favicon.ico I can just do icon.png. Save that, come back over here, and we should see a different icon. And there we go. So that's the iMessage icon. So that's exactly what we want. Now let's just minimize that, collapse that. And inside of source, we just want to do something called a cleanup process. So this cleanup process is basically deleting all of the test files that we actually don't need. So the test files are app.test.js, logo.svg, and setup.test.js. So we can just get rid of all of this. So app.test.js, so we can select all of these at once just by using control. So just hold down the control key and then also click on logo, and then also click on setup.test.js. So that's just going to select all three of them. And now when we click delete, it's just going to delete all three of them together. So I'm just going to hit delete, and it deletes all three of them together. But now as you can see, it throws an error saying that there's no logo.svg, like so. So the reason for that is we go into app.js, we're actually importing logo even though we deleted it. So we can get rid of that import, and also we don't need the counter for right there. And I'm just going to change this to an ES6 function. So an arrow function, there we go. Now make that a lowercase a and get rid of everything inside of that div. So just get rid of the header, and then just do a h1 which says iMessage clone, like so. And if I hit save, we shouldn't see any more errors. Okay, here we are. And also, as a part of the cleanup process, we just want to go over to app.css and basically delete everything inside of here. Now we will go over to index.css, and we will just select everything. So that's basically star or asterisk, and just say margin 0. And this because, as you can see, there's a little bit of space right up there. We don't really want that. Do that, hit save, and it should just get rid of that. So that's exactly what we want. Now we can close down both of those files. And now instead of features, what we need to do is just drag this counter slice right over here to features. So this app folder and the features folder normally won't be there, but both of those are actually related to Redux. But for now, what we're going to do is just drag this out here onto features, and I'm just going to delete the counter folder. And basically, when you only have a single folder inside of the features folder, then it's actually just going to say features / whatever the folder name is. But I don't really like that, so it's basically just a setting for changing that. So using control comma, I'm just going to open up my settings, and it's called compact folders. Yes, and I've just unchecked this. So if you also don't want that, then you can just uncheck that, and your actual, like folder, how it looks, is going to be same like mine. Now in app, basically throws an error. That's because in store.js, we're actually importing it from counter and then counter slice. But we just want to get rid of that because we have changed it to just features / counter slice. And now we have no errors. So that's exactly what we want. And that's actually looking really good. Now what we're going to do is come back over here, and basically I'm just going to go ahead and create an actual main component. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this component iMessage. So it's basically going to contain everything. And what I need to do is just go ahead and, of course, create that component. So inside of source, I'm just going to create a folder called components. And inside of that folder, I'm going to create yet another folder and just say this is called iMessage. And inside of that, I'm just going to have a file called iMessage.js and iMessage.css. iMessage.css. And inside of iMessage.js, I'm going to do REFCE. And actually, this time I'm going to use underscore REFCE because we no longer have to actually import React. So even if we get rid of this, and also let's go ahead and import iMessage right here. There we go. Save that, come back over here, and oops. Just create a H1 which just says iMessage. Save that, come here. And it should just say iMessage. So if I just refresh that, as you can see, it says iMessage even though I did not actually import React. So we no longer have to go ahead and do that. And basically inside of the iMessage component, we also need to import the CSS. So for that, I'm just going to do import./iMessage.css. And then here, what we're going to have is basically we're going to have a sidebar component along with an actual chat component. So the sidebar is where all of the chats will be displayed, and we can just click on them and then the appropriate chat window kind of thing will open. And also like our profile icon and like a search bar and all of that stuff will be there. So that's what we're going to do first. So here I'm just going to do sidebar, and also I'm just going to do chat like so. Now we of course need to create both of these components. So instead of the iMessage folder, I'll just go ahead and create another folder called sidebar. Actually, let's just do that in the components folder. So sidebar, and here we're just going to have a sidebar.js file as well as a sidebar.css file. And actually, I forgot to show you guys how I did the underscore REFCE. So it's basically over here in the extension store. You just need to search for ES7, and it's basically ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native snippets, and it just gives you all of those actual useful snippets. So it actually saves a lot of time. So what we want inside of sidebars is just our underscore REFCE like so. Do that. And also, by the way, we just want to give this div right here a class name of iMessage. Basically that's for styling. And here sidebar, also we need to just give this a class name of sidebar, and just go ahead and import the CSS file. Import./sidebar.css, and here we're just going to have a H1 for now. It just says sidebar, and we just want to go ahead and import this right over here. Save that. Chat is not defined, so we need to create another component for chat. There we go. Chat.js, chat.css, chat.js, again underscore REFCE. Give this a class name, chat, h1 chat, and import./chat.css. Wait. Let's see here, /chat.css, yep, there we go. And we're going to import even that right over here. And now it's compiled. So let's just refresh this, and as you can see, it just says sidebar and chat, and that's exactly what we want. So that's actually looking really good. Now I'm just going to minimize all of these folders, like so. And then basically, first we're going to work on the actual sidebar component. So for now, we can just close down the chat, like so, and the CSS, let that be right there. There we go. So sidebar.js. So let's just work on this first. So what we want to do basically first inside of sidebar.js is basically create two divs. So just do div times 2, and they'll just create two divs. And here, just do class name for the first one, and this is going to be sidebar __ header. And the second one is going to be sidebar __ chats. Like so. And basically, in this video, we will be using Material UI, but we're not going to be using the actual icons library of Material UI, but instead we're going to be using something called Font Awesome. So let's just go over to fontawesome.com, and if you don't have an account here, you can just create it. Okay, so fontawesome.com, like so. So what we need to do now is just click on that account icon and then just go over to Font Awesome CDN. Now what we need to do is, I'm actually just using the free version. So here what I'm going to do is just hit this little copy button. So let's just copy this. So it's basically a link tag. And here what I want to do is just go over to index.html and just paste in that link tag right over here. Save that, come there, close that. And here we can actually search for icons. So if I just search for the search icon, just hit that search button. We can also click enter. So that should actually, let's just wait. There we go. And we have the search icon right over there. And it's just loading up. And there we go. So we just need to just click on that and they'll actually copy it. So after that, if I just paste that right over there and then I hit save, come back here, and as you can see, the search icon is right there. So that's really cool. And by the way, we also want to install Material UI. We'll be using that later, but for now, we won't be actually using it. So iMessage, actually, we will be using it for the avatar and the sidebar header. So let's just go ahead and cd, and then we'll do npm I at material-ui/core. Oops, not cord, just core. And we're not going to be using the actual icon library this time. I've already said that, but anyway. As you can see, it's just installing right over here. So you just do that, then just hit enter, and it'll actually start installing right over there. So what we need to do now is, we've got Font Awesome set up, so that's how we do it. And now we're actually going to get started on creating the actual sidebar header section. So let's get started. So here I'm just going to hide both of those. So what we're going to do right over here is just going to create a div called, or actually first we will do an avatar right over here and just auto import that, and then we will create a div called sidebar input, like so. So there's an error for some reason anyway. So I think it's just slow. So sidebar input, and there we go, it's actually just slow. And just end the div right over there. And then that's what we will have in there. We will also have an actual search bar, but for now that's all we need. Actually, let's just add that input right now. So inputs, type text, all of that's good. And then we will just add a placeholder of search. And then here, right outside of that, we will just go ahead, come over here, and we'll just search for a star icon. And let this just load up. For some reason, it takes a long time. But anyway, so there we go. So star, let's use this one. Click that, and it's loading. Just select that. There we go. Save all of that. Come back here, and we should see it come through. So refresh it, and then we should see it. Actually, that's because we are actually just like using something from Material UI. Whenever I do that, for some reason, it takes a long time to refresh here. But until then, I'm just going to paste in the CSS in sidebar.css. Not that, so I'm just going to do this. And right here, this is what we want. So these are pretty simple styles. Okay. And this one, basically what this is, it's basically targeting the Material UI icon. But in this tutorial, we're not actually going to be using Material UI icons, right? So basically what we need to do is just go ahead and get rid of that. And just instead of that, we just need this. Okay, Font Awesome search. Also, it's a class name, so just do that. And this one right over here, WebKit scroll bar, is basically because when we actually add all of, like the chats, then there will be like a scroll bar if if there are like many chats, right? So we just don't want to display that scroll bar. We can actually scroll, but the scroll bar, it looks ugly, so we'll just do display none, and that won't actually display that. Okay, and this basically does the same thing. It's actually for I think Firefox and Edge and Internet Explorer, and this one is for the major browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and Opera. So save that, come back here, and there we go. So that's how it looks. And right now it's taking up the full screen because we haven't actually added the actual chat, but that'll actually we will fix it. So let's see here, and I think 21 pixels is a little too much, so let's just do like 16 pixels. Okay, and I don't know if we can actually do this, but let's just try it. So font weight, let's see what 100 does. Okay, that doesn't look good. 200. Okay, that doesn't work. What about important? Okay, that doesn't actually work. So anyway, let's get rid of that. And there we are. So also what we need to do is align item center. That's actually do important. I think it's on the center. I don't know if it's just me. But anyway, there we go. So that's pretty much working right now, right? And of course, the chat is right over there. But don't worry, we'll fix it. And let's see here. Sidebar chats. Okay, that's actually, I don't know why that's doing that. But anyway, let's continue on. The next thing that we will do is use something called an icon button. And I will actually explain what that does. So just type that in for now. So icon button, and that's actually from Material UI. Just surround that in that. So icon button. And now as you can see, when I go ahead and click on it, that's how it is, right? So we have a nice little ripple effect, and that's exactly what we want, right? And that actually looks huge. So let's go ahead and do the class name. Class, I don't know why the IntelliSense doesn't work. So sidebar underscore underscore star, like so. And we will target that here. Width of 13 pixels maybe, and even height of 13 pixels. That did not change anything. Important, I don't know. I think it's actually the font awesome icon. So fa-star. Okay. So let's just try. Oops, what happened there? So here we'll just do 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels. Actually, let's just leave it at that. Okay, that's okay. So what we want next is going to be the sidebar chats. So what we want to do inside of here is basically going to be just a component called sidebar chat. And basically I'm just going to create it inside of this folder itself. So sidebar chat. And let's just create a new file called sidebar chat.js and sidebar chat.css, like so. And let's just do underscore fce, and we're going to give this div a class name of sidebar chat, like so. And I'm just going to paste in the contents right over here. There we are. Oops. There we go. And sidebar chat info. That's good. And for now, we're just going to do like programming. No, let's just do like a small name. So let's just do Akshat. And here I'm just going to do test chat or something like that. And here I'm just going to basically paste in the CSS. What am I doing? There we go. Now I'm just going to save that, come back here, and we didn't actually import that. There we go. And if I refresh it, it should actually work. So refresh, and avatar is not defined. So we actually have to import it. So let's come over here to avatar. And I did not import, and also I did not even import the CSS. So import /sidebarchat.css. There we go. Save that, refresh, and as you can see, that's how it is. So that's actually looking really good right now. And with that being said, that's actually pretty much it for this video. So in this video, we've just gone ahead and created the actual sidebar and the sidebar chat component. And in the next video, we're actually going to continue on. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.